All right, gentlemen, let's go. Let's learn Hashem's Torah. Let's go. So Lenny just asked a very interesting question, which the commentaries actually talk about. If you look at Parsha's Sisa, you'll notice that the first aliyah is a very long aliyah. The first till Sheni, it gets till, what page is it? It's a long aliyah, gets to page 492. And then the second one is also long. So I actually saw an explanation for why they're broken up. Normally the aliyahs are broken up a little bit more evenly, and here you got two long aliyahs, and then the last five are kind of short. So actually one of the proficient says that one of the proficient says, you see, the second aliyah is going to contain the sin of the golden calf. And the tribe that was not involved with the golden calf was who? Levi. Who gets the second aliyah? The Levi gets the aliyah. So we want the Levi to get the aliyah with the sin of the golden calf, because otherwise if somebody else gets it, it could become sort of a prosecution, what's called a kitrug. It could be a negative omen. And therefore, that's one of the explanations that's given, why it's breaking up that way. Which always, there's rhyme and reason here. There's always something, some reason. Okay. Now take a look at where we got to, Perik Lamed, Pasuk. We got past that. We talked about making the oil compound, and on page 488. Vaydaber Hashem al Moshe Limmer, towards the bottom of the page, on 488. Re'ei, look, Karasi b'shem Bezalel ben Uri ben Chur lamata Yehuda. I have designated by name. How does the article say? I have called by name, but it means I've summoned Bezalel, the son of Uri, the son of Chur, lamata Yehuda, from the tribe of Yehuda. Va'amalayoso ruach Elokim, I filled him with the Spirit of God, b'chochma u'v'svuna u'v'das u'v'chol malacha, with wisdom, knowledge, understanding, comprehension. Lachashov machshavos, to think thoughts. La'asos bazav u'v'kesef u'nachoshes, to work with gold and silver and the copper. Bezalel is going to be the main architect of the Mishkan. And you'll notice his name is Bezalel. Bezalel really breaks into Betzel, in the shadow of Kel. Betzel, Tzel is shadow, and Aleph Lamed is Kel. Betzel, Kel. So Bezalel is in the shadow of God, meaning that he is infused with the Spirit of God in order to have this wisdom that's necessary in order to build the Mishkan. Bezalel did not go to architectural school. He was 13 years old. He didn't even go to high school yet. So he's the main architect of the Mishkan. Now, interesting, who is his grandfather? Chur. Who was Chur, gentlemen?
Miriam's brother.
Miriam, close, Miriam's son. And what happened to Chur?
He got murdered.
He was murdered. Where's Yitz when we need him? He was murdered. This is murder, not as opposed to execution. He was murdered because he objected to the Jewish people. We'll see later on. The Torah is written out of order over here, according to many of the commentaries, because this is really after the sin of the golden calf. And Chur got up and he objected to the people with the golden calf, and they killed him, which is an irony in and of itself, because his mother, Miriam, was one of the two women who was busy saving Jewish lives during Paro's decree, right? She was helping to make sure they didn't get thrown into the river. And then the Jewish people were in such a frenzy, which we'll see later on, and so they end up killing Chur. Now, Chur has a grandson, Bezalel. So Bezalel is going to be the one to build the Mishkan, because the Mishkan is really the atonement for the golden calf. So Bezalel, there's no irony that it's his grandson who ends up building the Mishkan, which begs what question? Should beg a question. It should beg a question. Different question. Different question. It begs a question, yeah. Different question. Different question.
No, you said-
I can tell that's not
No,
it. I can tell that's not it. I'm not listening. 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 I can tell that's not it.
You said reaction. You said it was reaction. Building.
Yeah, that's not the question I'm looking for.
Okay, my fault.
That's not the question I'm looking for. Huh? Bezalel builds the Mishkan. He's the grandson of Hur, who was killed at the Egel. And the Mishkan becomes an atonement for the Egel to a certain extent. But it should beg a very, very simple question.
So if we didn't do the egg,
No, it should beg a simple question.
Why him?
He's the grandson. Somebody asked, no.
Yeah, his grandfather didn't commit the sin.
Fine, but he has the merit now. It's a merit to build the Mishkan. The Mishkan is a merit, so he got the merit because his grandfather was Moser Nefesh, gave up his life to try to prevent them. So the merit of building the Mishkan is built by his grandson.
Why not the father?
why not the father?
Why not the father? Because you mean the son.
Yeah, why?
Well, it can't be Hur because Hur is no longer alive. You mean Hur's son. Why not Hur's son? Excellent. Why not Hur's son? Why the grandson? And you know what the Mefarshim say? Because Hur's son was sitting Shiva right now. And when Hur's son is sitting Shiva, you can't be involved. He's in Avelus. He's in a state of mourning right now for his father. Grandson doesn't mourn for the grandfather. A son is sitting Shiva. And so you know that Rabbi Emanuel Feldman was once asked, he was giving a lecture in a university, and there was a non-Jewish student there. He said, "Is it true that when somebody dies, Jews go and sit in a cold room?" So he said, "No, why do you think so?" He says, "Well, my mother told me that Jews go and they sit and shiver when somebody dies." True story. He said, I thought the Jews, they sit and shiver. Right? They said, no. It was, so Bezalel, Uri is in a state of mourning right now, so he can't build the Mishkan, so Bezalel, it's given to Bezalel L'Malach Hor. Now, watch this. God fills him with the Spirit, and then you'll notice in Pasuk on the top of 490, Lachashov machshavos. This is an interesting turn of phrase. It says to think thoughts. What does that mean, to think thoughts? Why did it just say to think, to be able to think? Why does it have to be to think thoughts to do with gold and silver and copper? Why is it lachashov machshavos? Now, we did touch about this a couple of weeks ago. Why does it mean to think thoughts? Strange expression, right? Strange expression. So the Mefarshim say, remember I told you that when they donated, they were donating raw materials. And everybody who's donating their raw materials, you'd like your material to go. If you're donating gold, I'd like my gold to go into the Aron Kodesh. I don't want my gold to be the paint coating on the outside fence. Well, how do you determine people's intent when they're donating? The architect has the divine, I call it the Ruach HaKodesh. He could think thoughts, meaning he understands your thoughts when you donated it. We're talking about, the only ones we know who could do that is women. Women know exactly what we're thinking. But you'll see, by the way, when you get married, it's frightening. They are absolutely frightening how accurate they are. True or not true? They know everything. Even Reb Chaim Shmulevitz, the Rosh Yeshiva, the Mir Yeshiva, he was once giving a shmuz, and he said, "The Froi Vase, the wife knows." They know. They know. It's unbelievable. They know what they should know. They know what they shouldn't know, but they know. And so he is now given the ability, call it a mind reader. When people are donating, he knows, I don't know if it was by seeing the people or by looking at the gold. He could tell this chunk of gold came with a 7.5 degree of L'Shem Shemayim. This was a 9. This was a 10. And therefore, based on that, he's able to determine what's going to go where. Number one. Number two, I had my own idea here, that to think thoughts around gold, silver, and copper is a little bit of a message, a little bit of a musser. People lose their heads around gold and silver, don't they? When it comes to money, all of a sudden our thinking becomes distorted, and our thinking is affected very much by money, by gold, by silver, and our various biases come out based on money. And therefore, the Torah says, None of it moved him. He's able to think around the gold, the silver, and the copper. And then it goes through the various materials that they're going to be building when they're making the Mishkan. Andrew was going to ask that if, according to this opinion, had they not worshipped the golden calf, then there would be no Mishkan. So I told you that there is a machlokas between the Rishonim, whether or not the Mishkan was a lichatchila or a b'diavad. In other words, was the Mishkan going to be built anyway? And it was only after the golden calf that they ended up building it? Or was the Mishkan something that was only a response to the golden calf? That is a machlokas. There are two opinions among the Rishonim, according to one opinion. In other words, what happened is like this. According to one opinion, the Jewish people are in such a high level after the giving of the Torah at Har Sinai that the divine spirit rests all over, the Shekhinah rests all over the Jewish people wherever they are. That's one opinion. The other opinion is, that's one opinion, and then what happened? They worshiped the golden calf, and as a result of the golden calf, the Shekhinah, the divine spirit, so to speak, has to be condensed and put in one specific place. The other opinion is, no, the Mishkan, that was going to be the plan all along. It just happens to be that there's a golden calf on the way. But the plan all along was to take and condense. It's a machlokas like anything else. It's a machlokas of Rishon and two different opinions. Yeah. Again, your name is?
Penny Shapiro.
Penny, yeah.
On that topic, I feel like I might be getting the chronology wrong, but you're saying that Bezalel's grandfather was Hor, who was killed during the Egel Zahav, which is only talked about after his appointment.
And it is. You're absolutely right. The chronology. How do you pronounce it? The chronology is out of order here, according to some of the Mefarshim. That actually this took place after the golden calf. That the golden calf, which is going to be coming up, is actually took place before in the Torah, because there's a concept called Ein Mukdam U'Meuchar BaTorah. There's no earlier and later in the Torah within certain parameters, within certain rules. That the Torah sometimes reports things out of the chronological order. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, good question. You know why it's a good question, don't you? You know why it's a good question? The definition of a good question is if I have an answer. Then it's a good question. If I don't have an answer, then it's a technical point. It's just a side issue. I'm sharing the tricks of the trade. Okay. Now, the Torah then takes a break. And 6 lines on the bottom, 7 lines on the Vayomer Hashem al Moshe Lebor. Hashem says to Moshe, Ve'ata daber al b'nei Yisrael lemor. You speak to the b'nei Yisrael. Aches shabsosai tishmoru. Keep my Shabbos. Ki osi b'nei u'veinechem. It is a sign between us, l'dorosechem, throughout your generations. L'das ki ani Hashem mekadishem, that you know that I am Hashem who has sanctified you. Now, why are we taking a break at this point to discuss Shabbos? I mean, Shabbos, it's always there. Shabbos is just always there. We know about Shabbos already. Why is the Torah telling you Shabbos? So take a look at Rashi. And Rashi says, where is it? Left column of Rashi on page 490, left column. 4 lines from the top. Ve'ata daber al b'nei Yisrael. Ve'ata, you, afal pi shifkadaticha letzavos amlechas hamishkan. Even though I've told you to command them regarding building the Mishkan, al yokel beinecha, do not take lightly lidchos es haShabbos mipnei osa malacha. Don't take Shabbos lightly to push off Shabbos in order to build the Mishkan. Aches shabsosai tishmoru. Next Rashi. Even though you're being energetic and you're doing it very quickly, Shabbos al tidocha mipaneh. You don't push off Shabbos. That we don't break Shabbos to build a Mishkan, which gives us another idea of what Shabbos is. How important is Shabbos? It is so a Mishkan, the Beis Hamikdash. We wouldn't build the Beis Hamikdash. Do you know that Mashiach won't come on a Friday? Gemara says Mashiach won't come on Friday. You know why?
Nobody will know on Shabbat.
Because we're busy preparing for Shabbos. You have to prepare for Shabbos. Can't interrupt Shabbos preparations. You got to get those floors washed. You know, Mashiach's going to have to wait. And we're not going to, what do you call it? Sorry. Did I say Mashiach? I think Mashiach or Eliyahu Novi. I forgot which one it is. And now I mix up. I don't remember when Mashiach. One of them can't come on Friday because of Friday Shabbos preparations. And it's certainly not going to build the Beis Hamikdash on Shabbos. Because the Beis Hamikdash is Beis Hamikdash, but Shabbos is Shabbos. Shabbos is the cornerstone. And therefore that shows us how important Shabbos is. Now, I want you to look at something it's a very subtle point. But look at the very first. It says, Vayomer Hashem el Moshe lemor. And then he says, Ve'ata daber el bnei Yisrael. Now remember, gentlemen, sometimes it says, again, I'm 7 lines from the bottom. Sometimes it says, Vayedaber Hashem el Moshe lemor. What's the difference between Vayomer and Vayedaber?
One is to talk and one is to speak.
And what is the difference between?
Speak is you say it with a different tone.
Which one? Good.
More caring.
Which one is more caring? Talking or speaking? I mean, in English. Let's just say in English first. Which one implies is softer? If I say I'm talking or I'm speaking? Talking is softer, I think, because I know that Kamala Harris said, I'm speaking now. That wasn't very soft. Right? That's what she said. I'm speaking now. That's not soft. So Vayomer is softer. Daber is harsher, and that's why it says earlier. It says Kosomar lebeis Yaakov. So you shall say to the women, soft. Visaged livnei Yisrael. Visaged is even stronger than Daber. That's the men. You know, give it to them. Women, soft, and like your tone of voice, soft. Why here does the Torah start with a very subtle point? Vayomer Hashem el Moshe lemor, ve'ata daber el bnei Yisrael lemor. And then it goes on to talk about Shabbos. Why soft and then hard? Why not either both hard and hard or soft and soft? Why is there a change?
Spoke softly too.
To Moshe spoke softly, and then he tells Moshe to speak hard to the Bnei Israel. What do you say, Pinchas?
Benny.
What did you say?
Benny is the name. Binyamin.
Oh, I thought it was. Binyamin's a beautiful name, by the way.
Like Ben Shapiro.
Binyamin is a beautiful. Binyamin, I think, is ranked as the second most beautiful name in the Jewish. Yeah, Dovid is number 1. And my name. I don't know if I mentioned. My name happens to. My full name is Binyamin Dovid. So I don't know if I mentioned that. Yeah, but go ahead, Benny.
I thought it was interesting. This commandment of Shabbos is given after they talk about appointing specific people to build the Mishkan. It wasn't upon all of Bnei Israel. It was only upon.
No, Shabbos was already given at the Har Sinai. They've already been commanded.
Right, Shabbos was already given. But
Right.
above when they're talking about building the Mishkan.
But why is it switched to terminology?
So my thought is that, despite the fact, it seems the juxtaposition of Shabbos to the appointees who are going to be crafting the Mishkan, you would think, but he's commanding it to the entire people of Yisrael. Why are you commanding it to the entire people of Yisrael to make sure they don't do malach on Shabbos when the only people who would be doing malach on Shabbos would be the appointees? So there's kind of this rift where you're telling Bnei Yisrael, you're giving them a reminder. Why are you giving them a reminder?
Why is there everything you say may be true, but why is it changed from Vayomer to Daber?
So I think
My
it's
que-
Dabir. I don't.
That's my question. My question specifically is why the change from Vayomer to Daber. The answer to your question is because they were the main people doing it, but there were people working for them. So it involves everybody who's involved in the Mishkan.
So everyone. Okay.
That's the answer to your question. I'm asking you why you went from Vayomer to Daber. So the answer is the Gemara says Shabbos is a gift to the Jewish people. Shabbos, I was just thinking this last Shabbos, I was thinking, how can anybody live without Shabbos? What would life be without Shabbos? It'd probably be more sober. But what would life be without Shabbos? You got Shabbos to relax, to get to spend some time with your family, to learn, to get tuned in, to daven, like without a rush and a turn off. Shabbos, the Gemara says, is a gift. God says, Hashem says to Moshe Rabbeinu, the Gemara says, tell the Jewish people I have a gift for them. It's called Shabbos. So Vayomer refers to the gift aspect of it. Vayomer Hashem el Moshe, because overall, Shabbos is a gift. But there's a daber aspect of it, which is watch your step on Shabbos. You're not allowed to, don't transgress Shabbos, and that's a little harsher. And therefore it goes, that's what the Meforshim say, that's one of the reasons it goes from Vayomer to Daber. Now, take a look at, it gets kind of rough, everybody desecrates Shabbos, put to death. But then it says, where is it? Where's the pasuk? Here, at the bottom of it, Sheishes Yamim Ye'aseh Belacha, 6 days work shall be done. Uvayom HaShvi Shabbos Shabboson Kodesh LaHashem. And on the 7th day is Shabbos Shabboson. Why the double terminology? Why is it double terminology? Shabbos Shabboson LaHashem. It's a double on the bottom line. Why it just say Vayom HaShvi Shabbos? It's how does he translate it? It's a day of complete rest, right? It's rest, and Shabbos is resting of resting. Right? We are under arrest, right? Complete arrest, right? Complete resting. So why the double terminology? So it's interesting. My brother-in-law, Rabbi Avram Cohen from Cleveland. Listen, he's a good guy. Can't help it that he lives in Cleveland. But he suggested like this. He's a big Talmud Chacham. He said, Shabbos can tell you, number one, there are two aspects of resting on Shabbos. You have to rest your body. You have to rest your mind. What does it mean to rest the mind? Then not only we shouldn't be doing our activities on Shabbos, our mundane activities, we shouldn't even be thinking about it. You shouldn't be thinking about what needs to be done at work this week, or what needs to be done at the office, or what file I have to get ready. Shabbos, physical rest for sure. Shabbos, physical rest meaning that we withdraw from our mundane pursuits. Shabboson, there's got to be some sort of letting it go up here as well. Now, I want to tell you something. When it comes to Shabbos, it's a tricky thing because we're told you have to rest, relax, whatever expression you want to use on Shabbos. There's a problem. In the old days, people worked, the more manual labor. You could have farmers and you could have guys who are running around, what do they call it, peddlers who are schlepping heavy loads. And then you come to Shabbos and you got to rest. And then you come into, okay, relax. It doesn't work, guys. Just to tell somebody, just relax, will you? And the guy who's telling you to relax himself is not so relaxed, right? Would you relax? So what I was supposed to do, I just finished my work week. I got yelled at by the boss. We're behind on the project. And you come home, all of a sudden everything turns off, and now you're going to go to shul, take a bath, go to shul, come home, make Kiddush, and just relax and be sweet and pleasant. So there's a formula that we use. What's that formula? It's called Kiddush. And what's in the Kiddush cup? Wine. Right? So that you drink the wine, besides the idea of wine being important, making the declaration, we know what the effect of wine is. And so you drink a cup of wine, and next thing you know, you're in a different state. I don't mean that you've gone from Illinois to Tennessee. That's too far. You're in a different state of mind. And if you need a little bit more to drink to relax, so that is the permissible and even, what's it called? It's permissible and even recommended way to get into Shabbos. But there has to be a limit, of course. And it has to be that you're not drinking for the sake of drinking. And drinking because I'm relaxed now, and you're with your kids, and you're with your family, and maybe with your in-laws, and then you have another drink, and then now things are a little bit more. That's perfectly acceptable, because the Torah to tell somebody relax. How does that work? What do you tell them to relax? You don't come home wound up, especially people in America and Israel. What Sunday is in America, Friday to a certain extent is in Israel. Most people work half a day maximum. In America, it was very common. Working people would come home sometimes an hour before Shabbos, sometimes a half hour before Shabbos. You would come into the house, take a shower, run off to shul. You're barely dried off. You run off to shul, then you come home. You haven't even gotten out of that mindset. How do you relax? So you do what's necessary to relax. That's what the Torah is telling you. Okay. Now, let's go to Perek Lamed Aleph Pasuk Yud Ches, and here starts the Vayitein El Moshe God gives to Moshe, 3 lines from the bottom. Vayitein el Moshe kichaloso ledaber ito behar Sinai. God gives to Moshe, when he finished speaking with him at Har Sinai, Shnei luchos ha'edus, the 2 tablets, luchos even ksuvim be'etzba Elokim, tablets of stone written in God's hand, in God's finger, God's handwriting, so to speak. And he gives Moshe Rabbeinu a physical sign, a physical a piece of matter that is actually produced and written in, carved in by God. And Moshe Rabbeinu is going to bring these down. Now take a look at that word kechaloso. When he finished speaking with Moshe, he gave him, this goes back to look at Rashi. And this is, Benny, this is going to answer your question. Take a look at Rashi, 4 lines from the top. Vayitein el Moshe. What's this, dude? How did this get into the picture now? We were just talking about the Mishkan and Shabbos. How did you get to the Luchos? Look at Rashi carefully. 4 lines from the top, right column on 492. Ein mukdam uma'uchar b'Torah. We don't go with chronological order. Mukdam means earlier, ma'uchar is later. Ma'aseh ha'egel kodem letzivui ha'mishkan yamim rabim haya. The incident with the calf was a while before, and Rashi makes a calculation of how long it was in advance. But we are now going back to Har Sinai. We've just gone back to that section of the Torah being given. Har Sinai, we took a break for station identification, building the Mishkan and Shabbos, and now we're back to that. Take a look, Kechaloso. 4 lines from the bottom. Says Rashi, Kichaloso ksiv. The word kichaloso, since there are no vowels in the Torah, could also be read as kichaloso. What is a kala? A wife, a bride. Why is she called a kala? What is that compared to? What's the root of the word? We would say it on Shabbos. Vayichulu hashamayim v'ha'aretz. Kichaloso. It was completed. What does she do? What is the wife? She completes the credit card. Right? She completes the husband, and she is the completion of the husband. By the way, people say, I'm looking for my other half. I'm searching for my other half. There's a rule in life, gentlemen. Before you look for the other half, you got to find the first half. Got to find the first half. And then that's the bummer, all right? I got to actually do some work over here. You mean I can't just go marry somebody the way I am? No. You got to actually do some polishing up. Kekaloso ksiv. Shenimser alo Torah matana kekala lechosan. The Torah was given as a gift, like the kala is given to a bride is given as a gift to the chosan. What does that mean? What is the comparison? Why does Rashi say, why does it mean it's a gift? Says Rashi, he couldn't have possibly learned the entire Torah in that short amount of time, 40 days on the mountain. I mean, you've seen what Torah involves over here, gentlemen. So how did Moshe Rabbeinu learn the entire thing? It was given to him as a gift. Torah was given to Moshe Rabbeinu as a gift. Okay. What's the connection between the Torah and the Kala? And it's a gift, and it's like a gift to the Chassan that he gives him a Kala. Right? He's given like a bride to the Chassan. The answer is that when a couple first gets married, there's a certain freshness in the marriage. There's a certain excitement. There's a freshness. There's an anticipation. After a couple's married for a while, there's a danger of that freshness dissipating, which is why in Torah there's something called the entire concept of family purity to maintain that freshness in the marriage. Otherwise, the marriage becomes stale. So there's the cycle, the monthly cycle, which helps to maintain that freshness. But what's the idea of the Torah being compared? What does that mean? And the answer is, isn't it an amazing thing? I mean, obviously we have days there, but you learn Torah and you see people learning Torah and they learn more Torah. And the more Torah, the people who learn Torah the most are the ones who are most excited about it. The people who are into learning, guys who've been learning, guys in Mir, they go to the Mir Yeshiva when you see 5,000 Kolol guys who can't wait. The one thing they want to do every day is study Torah. How does that happen? Why don't you burn out already? The answer is that there's a certain blessing in Torah that we see Torah, and Torah affects us with that freshness every day. There's that potential freshness. Obviously, a person could dry up if we don't have the right attitude. But the Torah is ultimately, the Torah is like a kala. It's like a bride. It's a gift that's given to the chassan. So the Torah is over here is kechaloso ledaber ito bar Sinai, and he gives them the 2 tablets of stones. So Hakadosh Baruch Hu is going to give to Moshe Rabbeinu. He's going to give to Moshe Rabbeinu the 2 luchos which are stone. And there's one question that we have to deal with is, why are the luchos put in stone? Why are the luchos put in 2 tablets of stone that we will speak about next time?